Yo, this is another episode of the Steven from the Old Time Podcast. Listen to my dad, he's awesome.
And we are here for a new episode of the All Time Podcast. And I am your host, the visionary, the revolutionary, and the architect of this whole podcast game with my co-hosts with an S this evening.
Hey, yo, is Dean Milenko the best French-Canadian accent since Celine Dion? You already know.
And on top of that, the most hated person in the hip-hop underground scene right now.
Yeah, people, I knew it. People, you cannot touch Rock Marciano. Did I say the album was bad? Not at all. Did I say it's a catastrophe? No. I just said I'm not too, and people call it a masterpiece already. Andre, I can't wait. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it when we come to the show. We'll talk about it. But I was clear in the episode. I don't think he did. And you know, already he's out of the rotation. I haven't listened to the album back. I go, if I want to listen to rock, I listen to old stuff. I don't need this 656. Sorry.
Jesus Christ. And the other host, hopefully a very positive one.
Hey everyone, you recognize the voice. Great as there is, great as there was, great as there ever will be. Also, Messiah podcasting, because I'm coming to save everyone from these terrible podcasts out there. Derek Alltime.
And new nickname that I'm giving you, Derek. I couldn't wait for you to be on here. Flip Phone Derek.
Flip Phone Derek is kind of it's sick. Flip Phone Derek.
So just to elaborate on that, Derek has given up his whatever phone he had. He had an iPhone or a Samsung or a phone from 2026, right?
Yeah,
a 2026 phone that usually I would say 99.3% of the world uses, and he's given up that phone to go completely flip phone. I gotta say, I tip my hat to you, all the respect, but holy shit, communicating with you has been atrocious.
It hasn't been that bad.
It's not that bad.
We have WhatsApp. I have a tablet for like all of the modern stuff. It's just on a daily. I just try to reduce my screen time as much as possible. So flip phone it is. You'd be surprised. Once you have a flip phone, the last thing you want to do is look at your flip phone. So yeah, it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
So basically the people in the world, I would say the other 0.7% of the people that don't have flip phones are either murderers, psychopaths, and the people
African
that are
drug lords,
and the people that are still on that Epstein list. And then we have Derek. So
yeah,
right? Let's say. It's fucking.
I'm not on any list other than a top 10 podcaster. Of
you
all
just
time.
made the list.
That's the only list I'm on.
You just made the list.
I just made the list.
Okay, boys, we are here for a review, as per always, and the album that we're going to be reviewing today is going to be the new album by Mickey Diamond and Big Ghost. Black Sheep, the second installment to the 3 albums that they're going to be releasing. This is number 2 to their first one, which was Wolf Ticket, and was, to me, a fucking incredible album. I know we reviewed it. It was us 3, or was it Trap that was here? I think it was Trap.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
Yeah, but now we're getting into number 2, and I'm so happy the way they released it. They waited. They gave us about a month and a bit between albums, if not a bit more, I think. Also, it was released in December, and now we're in February, so it gave us a bit more time to be able to take the album's intake from Wolf Tickets, and now we have Black Sheep. Okay, let's get into this. Let's spend some time with it, because I think this is an album that we do need to spend time with. Black Sheep, Mickey Diamond, and Big Ghost. I'm going to be honest with both of you right now, and I feel the haters are going to come. The first time I heard this, I was not impressed. And I'm being 100% honest. Now, you see it? I confused you both. I said the first time I heard this, I was not impressed.
But the first time you heard Wolf Tickets, you were.
Yes. Yes. So we jump the gun when albums come out, especially from artists that we love. Oh, here we go.
Why am I in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
situation? Why me and Derek in this situation?
Don't put us on
That's
that
a
list.
you issue over
It-
here.
it's
Don't put me in that jump the gun thing.
It's happened to you too, Malika. We could fuck. Don't let me start naming artists that you jumped the gun when they release, aka Schoolboy Q. Now let's get back.
Best album.
Let's get back to Wolf Tickets. I loved right after off the jump. I enjoyed it completely. I thought it was a heavier album. He wasn't around for a while, right? So it was something so fresh to us. Now we get Black Sheep, and the first time I listened to it, I was just like, okay, all right, no problem.
What?
But
The first time you hear Big Bad Wolf with that intro, you didn't go like, whoa. No, nothing.
yes, there was songs on here that I was, oh wow, these are really good songs.
I disappeared for a year in a game. Come on, dog.
Don't forget that. Don't forget that what he said. You have to bring that back because I have something to say about that. Now, we never review albums after one listen. We never review albums after two listens. We review albums after we have a good full week with them, if not a bit more. Where we stand right now to this day, the time I've spent with this album, I have to say my mind completely changed. And this is an album, and you could both disagree with me, that when you first listen to it, you expect a heavier, more impactful body of work because of the stuff that they've done together in the past. If you go back to the Gucci Ghosts 1, 2, 3, and 4, those are heavier albums. What I appreciate from this album now, after the numerous times that I've listened to it, I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to say this is probably top 7, top 8 Mickey Diamond projects.
Top 7, top 8.
Mickey Diamond projects. The album has an incredible flow to it. I love the balance between production. I love the balance between his voice. I genuinely enjoyed his project, but it took me a bit more time to understand what Mickey Diamond was trying to give us. It's not your normal Mickey Diamond. And that's the way I feel about the project. Now, I want to get into this. I want to get into the tracks. I want to get into the important parts of the album. Malenko, I want to hear your thoughts on the album first.
No, I want to hear Derek first. Derek, you look like you had something to say about this.
Yeah, because you've been giving me looks the whole time. Not
To
understanding
Steven,
what
I
I'm
want to
trying
hear.
say.
I disagree with Steven in certain aspects of the first time I listened to this. Just straight up first listen, top to bottom, just top to bottom, no real like desire or work to put into it. I'm just like, let me just listen to this. And after I was done listening to it, I thought this was one of my favorite Mickey Diamond albums.
Wow.
It's as simple as that. I think, like Steven said, I think it was well balanced. There's some heavy beats on there. There's some more soulful, jazzy beats on there. He's impactful on those songs. He's impactful in a different way. So on the heavier, like bass heavy beats, he's more on the shit talking, and on the more soulful beats, he's a little bit more insightful. I love the balance that he brings to that, and that for me that makes it enjoyable. I like an album that has balance, and last year I complained about a lot of albums sounding the same and not having any variety. I think he gives me a bass heavy song, and then he gives me a soulful song, then a bass heavy song and a soulful song, and I like the way he splits that up, because I could go back to half of this album for, I say, like car songs, and then I could go back to another half for like home songs. And I absolutely love this project. I love the sound of it. It sounded a lot clearer than the other project that he took out before. It was clear. There was no muffle. There was no whisper. There was no dip in the quality of not the quality of the production, but the quality of the mixing. Everything was just loud,
Listen to this.
bright.
Ugh.
The production wasn't louder than him. He wasn't louder than production. Everything was flowed well. This was a great project.
Okay,
Really, really
that's it. T'as vu? That's why I make... And me and Derek didn't speak about it at all. And Steven, what did I tell you about this project? quickly when we talked briefly on the phone. What did I tell
It's
you?
one of Mickey Diamond's best projects.
Best by far.
But what I need
By
to,
far. I don't listen. I don't see how you find differences in all these albums, Steven. To me, it's all the same formula. I don't get sometimes how you can differentiate what's more impactful or what. It's all the same. It's always the same, and not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. That's my opinion. Not in a bad way. I think there's the same formulas. There's the bass heavy beats. There's the big difference between this and all these other albums is the mixing. Gucci Gambino's was so badly mixed, and it ruined it for me. We had the first Big Ghost, the first Big Ghost and Mickey Diamond. It was heavy because the bass were so distorted. Everything was so loud. The mic wasn't good. He was trying to probably correct Mickey Diamond's mic over the beat and stuff. It was the quality of this album. Mickey hasn't done nothing close to this. This is, I think, his best album
ever. You're fucking insane.
No,
Ever.
I agree with Malenko. I think from a sound perspective, I think this is the album that sounds the most.
It's
the
an
most
album.
professional. It
It's
sounds
an-
like the most professional 2026 I don't want to say mainstream in terms of the sound, but the quality of the mixing. It sounds professional. And don't get me wrong, I do appreciate the underground mixtape sound on some albums. Just when you're an artist like Mickey Diamond, that you're on top of this underground game, there's a point where your sound and your production has to evolve to reflect where you're at in your career. And I'm looking, he's averaging over 5,000 listens on almost every song on this project. That is like approaching next to mainstream kind of levels. Your production, not the production, but the mixing of it and the sound and the quality of the sound of the album has to reflect those numbers. And this is the project that by far reflects that the most. It reflects where Mickey is. It reflects how much money he's making with this. It reflects like I'm it in terms of that sound of the album.
Yeah, I need to add something to this whole conversation because I think look, Malenko, you might be right. It might be his best album to you. Derek, you having more difficulties with listening to Mickey Diamond projects, that's very understandable. I just find now at the time that we are at right now in 2026, I am intaking this album at a number 6, 7, or 8 on all his projects because I need more time to intake it. I am agreeing with both of you and what both of you are saying with this album. The soulful beats, there's a lot more of a balance. There's a lot of intake, and especially coming from Big Ghost. I'm gonna say something right now, and Malenko, you might scream at me. I think this is one of Big Ghost's best produced albums.
Why would I scream at you? I just said it. That's exactly what I just said. It's probably his best quality produced album that he did in a long, long time.
I thought you were talking about Mickey Diamond in terms of Mickey Diamond projects. I'm talking about
No. The overall. I talked about it. The Gucci Gambinos is good. That's Big Ghost that produced that.
Yeah, absolutely. He produced all of the Gucci Gambinos. He produced
the beats were good, but
Gucci Ghost.
The production, beat making and production are two things.
So
the beat making was okay on Gucci Gambinos, but the productions wasn't good. This sounds way crispier.
Oh,
way
100%.
And the whoever, like Big Bad Wolf, we just talked about it. For me, as a second song, that gave me the chills. When that intro, the way he did the intro a cappella, I don't know whose decision that is. I'm assuming it's Big Ghost that produced that, so he took the decision of doing the verse twice, the first intro twice, put the snippet, and then drop the beat. That's probably one of his best beats he ever done.
Look, I'm agreeing with you 100%. And like I mentioned, and I want to get back to Big Ghost. I've been listening to Big Ghost for the longest time, and just how many projects he's put out and how much he does in a given year to really give us this type of quality and this type of balance within his projects. Okay, just look at After Big Bad Wolf, Murder He Wrote, going into B-22, Silence of the Lambs, Rabbit Hole. Rabbit Hole is my favorite beat on the whole project. One of my favorite beats on the whole project, because now I'm thinking of like Matthew 7:15. You see how everything kind of connects itself, and the way the production is made and the way everything is mixed. He did an incredible job on here. But it took me more time to appreciate that, understand that, coming off of Wolf Tickets, coming off of Gucci Gambinos, coming off of all those projects. There's a more of an appreciation for this record. And I want to get to Shepherd's Pie. That intro, that slow kind of, it's leading you into something way in, was incredible. Mickey's coming with a message. He's coming with a statement, okay? And he wants to make himself known that he's back. He literally, I could call him the Roman Reigns of hip hop. He was a champion.
Please don't.
He was a champion. Listen to what I'm about to say. I've been saying this for 3 years. He was a champion for a long period of time, just as much as Mickey Diamond was the champion of the underground for a long period of time. He went away for almost a year, and he came back, and he made an impact with the last 2 records he put out. I just love just how this project was put together. B-22, soulful. The album has more of this soulful type of beat. You get a lot more of this style, you know? And I love how in B-22 they had Mickey's voice kind of like more background, where Big Ghost focused more on the production on here. Horns being used on here, that Mickey literally made it sound so perfect. Production, again, I find that we're in a 2024, 2025 kind of bag that Big Ghost is giving to us on here. And I love it. He's using a lot more instrumentations. There's so much value to this. Rabbit Hole, like I mentioned, is one of my favorite beats, if not my favorite beats. Mickey Diamond on that track is fucking incredible. The Epstein line killed me. Loved it. He thinks the government killed Kobe. All these kind of things that he's giving to us. When he talks about, when he gives the names about Epstein and stuff like that, how you hear that it's kind of like getting cut off. Big Ghost kind of played with it like it's trying to shut him up, was amazing. That song made so much perfect sense. Let's get into Matthew 7:15. Fuck. Incredible song. Did you guys pick up? When with the pen, I go see Blackman with the kendo.
No.
You know what that means?
No.
Steve Blackman, WWE wrestler.
Okay, with the candlestick.
With the candlestick
Okay,
was his weapon of choice. Mickey
Yeah.
Diamond's weapon of choice is his pen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When I picked that up, I was like, fuck, he's so slick. Fuck, he's so good with his wordplay. Melenko, you mentioned something to me when we spoke quickly. Mickey Diamond's punchlines on here.
But I mean, content matter. I think content matter and rhyming, Mickey's always been one of the best. But on this album, I think he goes deeper, and he's not just surface level. He lets you go and deeper. That's been my thing with like Crime Apple. He's always surface level. There's never really something that is gonna. Now, like on this album, Mickey Diamond talked about like him, not being so close of Pro Dillinger anymore, but still loving him. You know, he talks about the last song, "What You Back." He goes, he's super open about the relationship he had and how he feels about it. You cannot be more sincere than that. and a Big Bad Wolf, how him coming back, how he's tired of seeing people wearing masks, rappers wearing masks all the time.
If he sees another rapper wearing, if he sees another rapper wearing a mask, he's gonna shoot himself.
Yeah, no, it's. I think Silence of the Lambs, the content matter of Silence and the Lambs, the rhyme on there are like 45, like Ipatri, like yeah, no, I feel like this is, for me, they're just the quality. Again, I'm gonna repeat what Derek said, but I think it's exactly it. I think the quality, the format of the album, this is his best album by far. By far, I don't. Even Wolf Tickets was close, but there's something about the balance of the beats and Gucci. I mean, Big Ghosts have been doing these beats. You know, like False Prophet is a beat that I heard from him a couple times. He used that beat a lot, but it's still like the way that Mickey approached it. I think they have a good chemistry, and the beats give something to Mickey to get hungry about, and like just go and get it.
I gotta correct myself. He says if he sees another rapper with a mask, he will blow his brains out.
Mm-hmm.
We can move forward from that. I think Mickey is so hungry on here. Yeah, I think he wants to make such an incredible statement. Like there's anger, frustration with his life, with his relationships, and just hip hop as a whole. And like on When It Rains, you mentioned like When It Rains is just a fucking incredible song. Like there's nothing more to say to it. The beat is almost, it's like literally like it's raining. You hear it in the background. Like it's a rainy type of day, and he's writing, and his emotions are being poured out. He's talking about the relationship with the umbrella guys. There's there's a more emotional aspect of what he's giving us compared to what he's given us. Now I know on It's 5 o'clock somewhere he was emotional and vulnerable on that, but I find here it's more of a, there's more of a heartfelt Mickey Diamond on this project.
I also agree. I don't necessarily think it's heartfelt. I think Wolf Tickets, the songs that he was vulnerable on, it felt like he was still like upset about those things he was being vulnerable on. Whereas on this project, he seems like he's more on the side of like being serene and acceptance more than anything, of like he's hungry, but he's not hungry in an angry way. He's hungry in a way to like right the wrong and move on from that kind of stuff. You know, there's a part where there's a sample, and it goes something along the lines of like, to get the wolf you gotta be a wolf.
Yeah.
And like it's always the innocent that get hurt. So it's one of those things also for me of I think he understands his place in the game, and not from a place of anger and violence, but from a place of like he refers to himself as the messiah of hip hop in this.
That's why you said that in the intro, or
no? I've been using it a little bit at the beginning of the year.
I was thinking about it. I'm like, this is a reference to False Prophets, or no? Okay,
but whatever. I absolutely love that he refers to himself as that, because he appears more mature, more calm, more methodical, yet still being hungry to right the wrongs that the hip-hop community, he probably perceives, did during the year that he had off. So for me, that hunger comes from that. It's hunger to get himself back on top of the game, and to show that he's number one. But overall, the project it's just so good. It's just such a massive step up from the rest of the stuff in terms of it checks all the boxes.
It's the narratives, that he take for every song. It's followed through, and it's all good subjects. False Prophets, When It Rains, Rabbit Hole. You know, like Silence of the Lamb, Big Bad Wolf. Like I feel like he goes into, like we talked about the intro, Shepherd Pie. An underground album starting with a drumless beat. that's not groundbreaking. Okay, but the way he approached it and he stayed focused on the song makes the big difference. I still will take that. Like,
but focused, Malenko. You say he's way more focused, and unfortunately, he did take a long period of time off.
And he got a good mic.
Yeah, it's the sound. Yeah, he probably did get a good mic, but
yeah,
he took a full year off to come back and give us two really great bodies of work. And who better to do it with Big Ghost? But maybe that year off, like he was going through things. He went through things. You could hear it. But you know what? To give us such great projects like that, you might have to go through things, unfortunately, in your life. But look how sharp he is. Look how on point he is. Dude, even the hook, pressure make diamonds, diamonds cut glass, glass full of cognac, puff, puff, pass. Try to snake me a diamond, I cut grass. Never ask questions, diamond just crash. Just like you hear the hunger in something like that. It was just perfectly executed. Such execution on here.
Yeah, but it's also a different kind of hunger. And I think you compared him to Roman Reigns. In this, I don't think in the 2010s ish, there was a point where they were trying to push Roman Reigns and it wasn't working. So they had to bring back Cena, and Cena came back and looked at Roman Reigns and like, I'm back here because you can't do your job. I feel like that's the version of Mickey Diamond we're getting. It's the one that I was gone for a year. I left the door wide open for a year, and that's what you guys came up with? I have to come back because you guys, that's the projects you put out. Let me show you what this rap game needs. And in terms of an elevation, being his first album of 2026, this is everything. From a rapping, from the execution, to the production, to the sound, to the hunger, to the passion, to the bars, to everything. Malenko said it. He sticks to a pattern on these songs, and every song gives you something different. You don't have 10 trash talking songs for 2 more vulnerable songs. Mm-hmm. He talks about different subject matter every time, but he does it in his Mickey Diamond kind of way. I'm not the biggest fan of when artists get political and try to communicate political messages through songs. So I'll just say that. But overall, for the most part, he got after it. I think, and to Malenko's point, I think this might be his best project. It's the one I'm going to keep going to anyway, that's for sure.
Were you on the review for It's 5 O'Clock Somewhere? 2 years ago, a year and a half ago? Can't remember. I think it was 20.
It's tough to say. I don't know.
I think it was 2024. To me, I see the way you felt with this project. I felt with that project, but I understand that whole the way you guys are hearing it, and I'm with you guys. But it took me a bit longer. I'm gonna keep mentioning this. It took me a bit longer, and I'm actually happy that it took me a bit longer, and I didn't get overly excited on the first listen. But that kind of makes me want to go in and find out more about it.
How can you listen to Big Bad Wolf after Shepherd's Pie and not get excited? That's my biggest question for you. What the fuck were you doing?
I needed more time with it. I needed more time. I needed them to give.
And then Murder, She Wrote, and then B-22. For me, when I listened to this the first time, I was like, oh my God, the Shepherd's Pie finished, then Big Bad. I'm like, oh my God. Dude,
we're
for the whole week.
Tickets.
I don't care. I don't care.
Tickets.
I don't care.
Tickets closed off.
Yeah, no.
If you look at the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the last 6 songs off Wolf Tickets, the album's a 10 on 10. If you telling number 7, You Can't Buy Love, What the Fuck, Missed Calls, Michael Knight, Blood Moon, One Shot Kill, those last songs off Wolf Tickets, the album's a 10 on 10. That's why I needed to spend more time with it. I needed to put that Wolf Tickets aside and be with Black Sheep. I needed to understand what they were giving me more with Black Sheep. And you're not wrong. B-22 after Shepherd's Pie, 100%.
Big Bad Wolf.
Big Bad Wolf, sorry.
Yeah.
Then Rabbit Hole and Matthew 7:15. Like I have to get accustomed to what he's trying to do differently than what he gave us. And I'm not going to change my mind. The end of Wolf Tickets to me is a 10 on 10. Incredible.
I mean, there's so many things. I mean, no, I again, this album, I don't think about the other album. I never do. So for me, this was a brand new stuff. I just listened to it. You know, with the quality of album that Pro Dillinger is releasing, especially his last albums, I'm glad that Mickey did an album like this, because this bring it to level.
Yeah.
This bring it to level, because Pro was bringing the heat.
Oh yeah.
And professional style albums. So for me, for Mickey to bring at this level, come back and be at this level, if he can stay on this for 2026, yeah, this might be it. But I don't see an album of his that's really close to this one. I'm serious.
It's crazy you're saying that, and because we have 29, and he mentions it on this album. There's 29 Mickey Diamond projects. That's a lot of music to intake. That's a lot of music to go through.
Yeah. No,
And-
I
that's
get
amazing.
it. Maybe Orokusaki could be one closer. Super Shredder could be closer. I think those were like really good projects. But other than that, quality-wise, 12 songs, all good narrative throughout.
39 minutes.
39 minutes. The sequence of the whole album is perfect to me. The only part of this whole album that I was a bit of a down for me is Business as Usual for the first part, because I don't know, I was not too keen about that first beat, and then he switched the beat. They did a beat switch, and that beat switch is nasty. The guitar comes on, the tone goes down. It's like it got just somber as like. I mean, that's the only part. The first part of Business as Usual was the only thing that I was not too positive about.
But how incredible is that coming from Matthew 7:15, right? Like how impactful Matthew 17 was going into the beginning of Business as Usual.
Yeah.
To changing it. Let's be honest here. When Big Ghost does beat switches, it's some of the best beat switches I ever hear in my life. Not kidding. I'll stay here, and that we can't argue about, because you both agree with me on that. Big Ghost has some of the best beat switches in hip hop, bar none.
I think he mostly probably feels like. I think he really has a really good ear for anything that becomes stagnant. And I think this album really showcases that a lot. Because coming off of Wolf Tickets and coming off of an album that kind of like 2025 was really defined by kind of like those soulful, jazzy, kind of one-tone-ish kind of beats. Like to take out an album like this in the early part of this year, if they release more and it's gonna sound like this with this quality of production and the way it's layered, and to give us that variety but also give us consistency in a single project, I think we're onto something here for sure.
Yeah. And there's a third installment to this, so I'm excited to hear what they're gonna give us with the third installment. I really am. I don't know what they could do. I don't. So I'm excited.
It's gonna be tough to beat.
Yep.
If he does these, when these three are complete, I think we might have the best sequence album that Mickey ever did.
Malenko, since you're on that subject, let's go with the score and your final thoughts on the album.
All around, I think is his best album. Close to, I think, his top three, easily top three. For the week that I've been having, completely clear everything that I had in rotation for the rest. Completely cleared. yesterday I needed to check the actual name of the songs because I listened to the album so much in one sequence that I had no idea from one name of the song, and that's, I'm not even joking. I feel the only thing that I the minus for me is the first part of Business as Usual. After that, I think the ender, the intro, the mid part, the beat sequence, everything, the rhymes. There's nothing that I don't like on here, and that's why I'm a Mickey Diamond fan. He brought it on there, and I'm so happy that he brought his level up like this. This is a big step for him. Big step. No featuring to this. I mean, the rest, everything goes in. I think Big Bad Wolf is probably one of his best songs that he ever did. Want You Back is probably one of his best songs he ever did. And Give Me You See. I don't know. Yeah. Matthew 7:15 might be one of his best songs as well. So for me, it's an easy 9 out of 10. Amazing. Clears everything around. I want to hear people from the 656 tell me this is a better album. Bring it. Please bring it to me. Bring it to me. Tell me how a fucking 656 album is better than this. Please bring it to me. I hate comparing artists, but this is an album. 656 is like it's like a little collection of songs. This is an album. Thank you.
Derek?
I don't really have any much more to add to what Malenko said, to be honest. I think this is Mickey Diamond at his best, sounding his best. I think this is Big Ghost at his best, sounding its best as well. For me, that's the only thing that was missing from him, because the artistry has always been there, the talent's always been there.
Always.
It's everything has always been there for them. For me, when I listen to an album like this on streaming or on a CD, I expect top quality sound, production, and mixing. That's what I expect. If I want to listen to something that's scratchy or grainy, I'll put on a vinyl. There's a time and a place for vinyl albums. There's a time and a place to release those albums. There's a mood that these albums have to be in. And honestly, I probably wouldn't like this album as much had that sound not been there, because I think it's more impactful, those beats and that hunger, on a clear top to bottom 1 to 12 album like this. With that being said, top songs, I think Shepherd's Pie for me is up there. Silence of the Lambs, Matthew 7:15 is up there. Those are all really hard beats. I enjoy bass on my beats. Yeah, I think for me this is a 9 on 10 as well.
Wonderful. For me, I agree with everything you guys are saying. I wanna just focus quickly on one song, and that's part of my whole end of conversations for this album. Want You Back. An incredible way to finish off the album. Malenko, you mentioned this being one of your favorite songs on here. It's one of my favorite songs on here. I thought that was amazing. And when you talk about production value on here, I mentioned before, it brings me back to 2004, 2005 type of, I don't want to say Kanye West, that kind of bag, but it kind of reminded me of that, just the way the production was put together. And for him to really end off an album in a more personal way like that, again, we don't hear stuff like that from Mickey Diamond. The last time we heard something like that from Mickey Diamond was You Can't Buy Love, right? He doesn't give us those gems on projects about relationships, about, sucks to say it that way, but like a chick kind of like, relationship type of song. He had to have gone through things to put him in that place. And that's why I love this record, because he's in that place where he needs to get his emotions out. And he gave us a body of work like this. if we're gonna go with songs, I'm gonna go with Matthew 7:15, Want You Back, and When It Rains. And When It Rains. Though Malenko, you mentioned that those were some of Big Ghost's best songs. I think When It Rains is one of Big Ghost's best songs, because we don't expect to hear something like that, and we're getting it, so it's way more fresher to us as it is. Man, the stuff you said, the relationship with the Umbrella guys, man, nobody wants to say things like that on wax or on record. Like when I heard it the first time, I was like, oh shit, for real? Like, it makes you think. And you had the little the voice of Pro on that. I don't know if you caught that, like a Pro ad lib on there. And stuff like that. You had the snotty, you had the Big Trip. Like Big Ghost added that to the song, so it made the song more elevated as of already what it was. So I love that. If there's one fault for me on here, if there's really, really one fault, and this is maybe just me, you guys are probably gonna shit on me for this, is it was I like featuring sometimes. They kind of elevate the project a bit more. On When It Rains, I would have loved to hear Pro Dillinger come at the end and give us a couple of bars. I think it was the perfect execution for him to be on that song. But again, who am I? I'm just a listener. And 2 projects, no features. That's amazing on Mickey Diamond to do. But sometimes a featuring kind of, it kind of balances out a project differently. Not saying that this project isn't balanced, because it's one of the most balanced projects from Mickey Diamond's catalog. But yes, I would have liked that. I'm gonna give a 9 to this project. I'm closing the books, and I'm saying I'm giving this a 9. And look, we reviewed 5 albums so far of the year. I love this project. I'm going to keep going back to it, and I'm actually really happy that off the jump I didn't love it, because of coming from Wolf Tickets, if that makes sense. Black Sheep, Mickey Diamond, and Big Ghost, thank you for a project like this. I cannot wait to hear what is next. What the 3rd installment. Give me another 2 months though, so I could breathe and continue to listen to those 2 records. Boys, appreciate you being here. Flip Phone Derek, the most hated person in the underground hip hop. You know what his Instagram is. If you want to hate on him that much, please send him DMs of how he's completely deaf when he listens to 656. But
nobody did. Huh? I was waiting for them.
They all came to me.
They all came to you. I was waiting for the DMs. Nobody. They were like this. Shh. Nobody listened to nothing. No. Okay. I'm ready. I'm ready for the heat anytime you guys want it. Albums and arguments are my favorite things to do.
We know that. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please like and subscribe.
Please put your score under in the comments if you hear the album, and direct shots to me if you want to again. But yeah, just put your comments in here. That's it. I want to see it.
And please don't listen to an album once and then review it. Give it time. The All Time Podcast. We are out. Peace.